Welcome to the ultimate 5-day adventure in the heart of the Dolomites. Over the next 5 days, we're diving into some of the most awe-inspiring and untouched mountain landscapes you'll ever witness. From jagged peaks to serene high-altitude pastures, and from adrenaline-pumping activities to peaceful retreats, this itinerary is designed to showcase the very best of what the Dolomites have to offer. Get ready to be inspired, challenge yourself, and fall head over heels with the Dolomites. Let's go! Before we dive into our epic 5-day adventure, let's talk about our base camp. Hotel Uberbacher is in the charming village of Lyon, nestled at the gateway to Val Gardena. And I chose Hotel Uberbacher for several reasons. One, its location is ideal, close enough to Ortisei for easy access to our activities, but far enough away from the hustle and bustle of more crowded spots like Cortina. And Hotel Uberbacher offers everything you need to relax and recharge from our daily adventures. Cozy rooms, amazing breakfast spreads, beautiful 3-course dinners, as well as their own spa for the ultimate relaxation after a long day. And let's talk about the time of year. While summer and winter are the most popular times to experience the Dolomites, we're here in September, which is absolutely the best time to visit. The summer crowds have thinned out, the weather is perfect for outdoor adventures, and the fall colors are just starting to paint the landscape. What I love the most about this itinerary is it's going to give you a little bit of everything so you can taste all of the sweet vibes that the Dolomites have to offer. Let's get to it. Day 1, 𝗥𝗲𝗰. Day 1 kicks off with an adventure to 𝗥𝗲𝗰, a lesser known gem in the Dolomites. Trust me, this place is pure magic, a serene escape from the more crowded tourist spots. And our journey begins in Ortisei, where we take the new funicular up through woods and meadows, climbing to an altitude of 2,200 meters. And here's a pro tip. Go to 𝗥𝗲𝗰 on day 1 because you're going to get your first glimpse of the 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪�ึ which we're going to spend a lot of time on in this itinerary. And this lesser known destination gives you all of these beautiful vista views where you get to immerse yourself in nature. There's not the heavy foot traffic that you'd find in popular spots, which means the trails are so serene and they go on for days. The hardest choice you'll have to make is how much do you hike versus how much do you sit and be looking up at the vista views. The highlight here is to stop at Refugio 𝗥𝗲𝗃. This adorable mountain hut is the perfect place to take a break, enjoy a drink, pet a horse if you're lucky, and get that first taste of what the epic Refugio culture is like. So you're going to actually get this beautiful experience of the Dolomites in a really relaxed and chill way as a magical start to this 5-day adventure. On day 2, we're taken to the skies, baby. Paragliding over the stunning 𝗪𝗟𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗙𝗀𝗙𝗀𝗙𝗀𝗙𝗀𝗙𝗀𝗙𝗀𝗙𝗀𝗙𝗀𝗙𝗀𝗙𝗀𝗙𝗀𝗙𝗀𝗙𝗀𝗙𝗀𝗙𝗀𝗙𝗀𝗙𝗀𝗙𝗀𝗙𝗀𝗙𝗀𝗙𝗀𝗙𝗀𝗙𝗀𝗙𝗀𝗙𝗀𝗙𝗀𝗙𝗀𝗙𝗀𝗙𝗀 And let me tell you, when you get the opportunity to feel that paraglider lift you off of the ground and start soaring like a bird above these beautiful mountains with not only an expert guide, but a former Red Bull X Games competitor, you know that you're in for an epic experience. Not only does the team of 𝗙𝗲𝗃𝗀𝗃 have decades of experience with expert guides, they literally take care of every part of this journey for you doing the tandem paragliding experience. I highly recommend the Taste of Freedom flight if you're a beginner, but if you have had paragliding experience before, they actually have other tours where you can go for longer flights, more panoramic views, and at higher altitudes. This experience right here made me feel like a 5-year-old. I went from being completely terrified in takeoff to experiencing this pure joy and a laughter that was something I feel like I haven't experienced in years. You feel so free when you're up there, looking down at everything and getting this completely different perspective when literally just the day before you were on the ground looking at these same mountains. And when you do paragliding, make sure that you do the GoPro add-on. While I had my own GoPro to document the experience, it's really nice if you don't have to think about it and let the guide do all of the work for you, capturing photos and videos so you have epic memories to hold on to once you're back on home soil. And back on the ground, which is also a really good feeling. Now you might be thinking, where do we go from here after having such an epic adventure? I promise you, it's going to get even better. Day 3, e-biking. The very views that you saw while you were up paragliding, you're now going to get to experience on the ground, but not on foot, where it's going to take you more time time to cover miles of terrain. You can hire e-bikes at the base of 𝗙𝗪𝗁𝗔, which is the highest mountain pasture in Europe, and it is green for days, even in September. What makes 𝗙𝗪𝗁𝗔 so epic is not only the views, but the convenience. You can literally rent your e-bikes at the base of the gondola, grab your e-bikes for the full day, take the 𝗏𝗏𝗡 gondola up, and then you can hit the trails for miles. As you ride, you're going to get the chance to stop at around a dozen refugios scattered along the trails, and these huts offer treats like cappuccinos and bolognese, which means you can leave the energy bars and electrolytes at home because you've got plenty of food and drinks to choose from. So whether you're a seasoned biker or you're just looking in to take some of the most beautiful landscapes in a simple way, the 𝗓𝗄𝗏 is an unforgettable ride on an e-bike. It's this perfect combination of exploring and relaxing, making this a must-add to your Dolomites itinerary. Day 4, 𝗪𝗡𝗍. 𝗪𝗡𝗍 might be one of those locations that you're familiar with if you've done some research on the Dolomites already, and I went back and forth on including this in the itinerary because it's a really common tourist spot. But the mountain range of 𝗪𝗡𝗍 is so iconic and so stunning to stand in front of and take in with your own eyes that it's an absolute must-do. I think it's probably the most iconic mountain in the Dolomites. What makes this adventure epic too is you take not one but 2 lifts to get up to 𝗪𝗡𝗍, and when we were getting ready to go on the second lift, my husband and I were looking at it thinking, surely this lift doesn't take us up the steep notch, but it does. So already the journey up to 𝗪𝗡𝗍 is part of the little adrenaline rush you'll get when you get to the top. Now I'll tell you, when you get to 𝗪𝗡𝗍 and you get to see that iconic, highly photographed ridgeline, you're going to have 2 choices, and each choice is a great choice, but it's also a difficult one. Option 1, stay at the top of 𝗪𝗡𝗍 and take in the sights. There's a trail that follows part of the ridgeline, and there's ample places where you can just sit and look and take the sights in. Don't just take a few photos and walk away. In fact, there's even a refugio right at the top of the lift where you can have a cappuccino and look out and just take in the views. Option 2 is to take in the beautiful views of the ridgeline and then hike. There are so many hiking trails in this region surrounding 𝗪𝗡𝗍, and if you're a hiking fanatic, it's going to be very hard to resist, and I simply couldn't. Not only was the hiking itself stunning, you also get the experience to hike to Refugio Firenze, which I highly recommend because we have very fond memories of sitting there with lunch and a drink, taking in another angle of the Dolomites. So if I had to make a choice right now and go through this itinerary again, I would probably go with option 1 only because I've already done option 2. But you can't go wrong either way. Now, before we get to day 5, I want to add an honorable mention to the 5 days. You're going to have enough time during this journey to also explore the charming mountain towns, and we completely fell in love with Ortisei and 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. One of our favorite memories of the Dolomites was actually shopping around and exploring the artisans, especially the woodcrafts. But if you're going to do anything for shopping, go to the markets, experience the grocery stores, and taste the local meats, cheeses, vegetables, and find a beautiful spot to just have a picnic lunch to take it in. To me, it's not just about seeing the sights, it's actually about taking an opportunity to experience the culture. What does it actually feel like to live like a local? Now, because I designed this itinerary to be jam-packed with a lot of different activities that are both on the ground and in the air, day 5 is the Adler Spa in the beautiful town of Ortisei, making it super easy to access, and you don't actually have to be a hotel guest there to appreciate what the spa is because you can just buy a day pass. The Adler Spa, let me tell you, is the perfect way to end your time in the Dolomites. Your wellness experience starts by enjoying one of the heated pools that offer you not only indoor comfort, but outdoor views where you can see the town of Ortisei and also look over and see the 𝗏𝗏𝗡 gondola, which you were just on a few days ago to go e-biking in 𝗙𝗪𝗁𝗏𝗏. And the warm temperatures on a September fall day are absolutely perfect. Get there early and take your time enjoying the pools, and I would actually spend most of the morning indulging there and soaking in the sun. Then make sure you get time to experience lunch at the Adler Spa. How many places do you get to have lunch where you can hang out in a bathrobe? So it's a must-do experience where they have a beautiful buffet lunch laid out for you. Then you can spend the afternoon enjoying all of the various saunas and steam rooms that they have. And if I were to recommend 2 things, 1, the salt grotto. This is where you get to soak in salt water that is as dense as soaking in the Dead Sea, and you can book a specific time to enjoy the salt grotto because they only allow a certain number of people to experience it every hour. Another perk to this being off season, we had the salt grotto completely to ourselves. Then I would meander off to the various saunas, and my favorite sauna that they had is their hay sauna. They literally bring hay from the local pastures in the Dolomites region, convert them into bales, and then use that to hold in the heat, which then emanates this beautiful natural heat while getting beautiful views of the surrounding pools and grounds of the Adler Spa. To me, there's no better way to experience a multi-day itinerary than to have a relaxing day like this where you can literally reflect on everything you just experienced, as well as what you're experiencing right in front of you. That wraps up our ultimate 5-day itinerary in the Dolomites. From serene hikes to thrilling paragliding and scenic e-biking to high altitude vistas and ultimate relaxation, this trip has it all. To also help make this itinerary easy for you to make a reality, I put a lot of resources in the description as well as in the pinned comment at the top. Also, take a second and let me know in the comments what you love the most about this itinerary. What excites you most about experiencing the Dolomites, and what recommendation is at the top of your list? Thanks for joining me, and remember, the best adventures are the ones where you explore, discover, and stay curious. I'll see you on the next adventure. Hey, thanks so much for watching today's episode. Take a second and like this video, then subscribe to Explore This so you can get notified on when the next episodes come out, where we're going to be seeking adventure, tasting the world, and discovering everything. So excited to have you with me. I'm your host, Ahana, and I will see you next time.